Today starts my series on keto Thanksgiving recipes, and one of the main staples to any savory Thanksgiving dish is turkey stock. So today I'm going to show you how I make my turkey stock. It's also the same recipe I use for chicken broth as well too. So keep watching if you want to see how I make it. So for this turkey stock that I'm going to make today, I'm going to use a mixture of turkey thighs and turkey drumsticks. But you can use whatever cut of turkey you have, even if you just have a leftover carcass from your turkey that you make for Thanksgiving. Oh, that makes the best soup. And then also in terms of vegetables, we're going to use 2 onions, 2 leeks, unless you have a large one, then you can just use a large one, celery, and 1 carrot. And then in terms of seasoning, we're going to use apple cider vinegar, salt, and then this mixture of seasonings here. And I'm going to have the full recipe down below that shows you what I use, so check out that in the description box below. And so we're going to start by chopping up our vegetables, and this is just a rough cut. You don't have to mince it or finely chop them just because you're going to be tossing out those vegetables. They're just really just to give you a little bit of flavor. And don't be alarmed by the carrot. I know that the carrot is not keto, but again, it's 1 carrot for like a large pot of broth. And so not a lot of carbohydrate is going to get infused into the broth from any of these vegetables. Because again, we're tossing out the vegetables. We just want the flavor that they provide. And next I'm going to chop up 4 stalks of celery. And so that's going to go in there as well too. And feel free to use the leaves. They provide a lot of nutrients to your stock. And up next is the leeks, and you just give those a rough chop too. Just the white and the light green portion is all you need here. I love leeks in Thanksgiving dishes. It just adds this real yummy, just savory component to it. And then the garlic. I have about 4 cloves, there might be 5 there, but you just want to smash them because you want it to release its flavor to go into the stock. I like cooking my broth in a slow cooker just because I can plug it and forget about it for a day or 2, but you can certainly cook it on the stovetop as well too. And once again, I'm going to use turkey thighs and legs for this recipe, but if you're looking for more of a gelatinous broth, then certainly use turkey feet, neck, or heads if you can get a hold of them. But this works fine too. So I'm going to add in my meat and bones first. And again, if you just want to add in the bones without the meat, that's even more ideal. And then top that with all of our chopped veggies. And then we're going to add in our seasonings. And once again, I'll have that listed down below with exactly what I have. And then we're going to throw in a couple of bay leaves. And then to help extract all the good nutrients from the bone, we use apple cider vinegar. So it's just 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar that just really helps get all those minerals out. And then lots of salt. 4 teaspoons of salt goes into that just to give a little bit of flavor to the broth. And then you want to fill up your vessel fully to the top with water. And then we cover it and we let it go. Ideally, if you're using a slow cooker, you want to cook it for at least a day, so 24 hours. The longer you go, the more nutrients you're going to get out of the bones. And if you're cooking it on the stovetop, then you want to do 8 to 12 hours simmering it. And so look, you can see it's already nice and delicious and beautifully colored. You will start to lose some water. It will start to evaporate, so feel free to just periodically add some more in. And then after about 12 hours or so, I take all the meat out and I save that and use that for other turkey recipes that I might want to use. So our equipment that we're going to use now for straining the broth is I use a big pitcher that has a little pouring spout, and then you want to use a fine mesh colander to weed out all of the veggies and bones and seasonings and stuff, and you just set that on there and we'll strain the broth now. So I just take big ladles full of stock and then just put it through my strainer device. I'm sure there might be easier ways to do this. This is just how I do it. It sometimes makes a little bit of a mess, but it's not that bad. But yeah, see, we're gonna strain everything out and then toss out the veggies and bones, and we're left with our nice golden broth. And I like to use mason jars to store my broth in, and then I just put a funnel in and then pour the broth in up until it's almost to the top, and then I replace the lids and let it just kind of vent until it's cool to the touch, and then I'll seal them tight completely and then label them. And your broth is good in the refrigerator for a week, or you can store it in the freezer for 6 months. That's what I do, is I make a huge batch. This makes about 6 or 7 these, I think these make mason jars, and yeah, and I store them in the freezer. But like I said, I like to make this up ahead of time and use these to make my Thanksgiving recipes like green bean casserole and gravy. Just great to have on hand. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of those upcoming keto Thanksgiving recipes.